What they need is your acquiescence. What they need is policy. They need policy, public health policy. That's exactly where we're at right now. That's exactly what we're going through. That's why emergency status, all of these state of emergency, crisis, all of this is being maintained and extended so they can have the opportunity to circumvent the legal systems. But what else is an issue here? There's more than just that. There's an important concept here called unprecedented. Not just this idea of a state of emergency, which allows them the ability to manipulate and abuse, right? But also, this entire situation is unprecedented in many ways. One way, it's because it's not as if there hasn't been pandemics or epidemics or viruses before. It's not just that. It's the fact that we are having this type of pandemic at a time where we have a mass surveillance, or should I say dataveillance system, where everybody's connected to a type of supercomputer by way of digital technology networks, information networks, communication information networks specifically. Everybody has phones on in their pockets, on their hips. Everyone has access to screens 24 hours a day. Never in history has it occurred where a massive virus has spread across the earth and is threatening the life and the progress, or should we say the existence of humanity, whilst high-level advanced technology is available so the entire earth can communicate with each other instantly.
You don't need a pandemic for people to take the vaccine. You just need the fear of a pandemic.
In a sense, this technology has shrunk existence. It's globalization. It does such. It shrinks everything down to the degree that we are always right next to each other, always available. We have access to information, but each other instantaneously. So when you have this type of dynamic, it's unprecedented in that it's never happened before, for one, but the reaction to it is extreme. And what we see in that reaction is hashtag movements, of course, the spreading of misinformation, disinformation, and entire movements of people that are mobilized because they have the platform now to share information and instantaneously reach hundreds of thousands. We call this viral or virality. I'm bringing up the idea of unprecedented situation because this is exploited by the establishment. Because when you read their documents, they clearly tell you, really our issues are legal and ethical. Everything else is in line, ready to go. We just need the approval. We just need the cooperation, and we need the legal documentation or the legal standards to make this appear as if it's okay. How do we get around that? Well, we create 2020's crisis, and we extend it into 2021, and we extend it into 2022 by way of creating new phantom menaces in the forms of variants. And we create all types of confusion to keep everybody on their toes and at odds and divided by way of mask, unmask, juiced, unjuiced. We do all of these things to stir everybody up so we could slowly implement laws that make no sense and do not have your best interests in mind, or we just completely disregard law altogether because we're in a situation of crisis and emergency and we don't have to consider them. So we just make moves. We make mandates. We make restrictions and regulations. But let's be safe. You know what? Let's CYA, as people used to say. Let's cover your backside and let the businesses do it. Let's let the private sector take over. Let's let the private businesses do the dirty work. Let's put it in the hands of the small business too. Let's put pressure on them to normalize these draconian mandates, these unscientific mandates. That way it becomes normalized and standardized into the society. Everyone's used to it because all these businesses that they frequent have these kind of restrictions implemented, then at the end of the day, it will be much more easier for these establishing powers, these public sector governmental powers, to make official mandates.
The goal here is to convince everyone that this is the time. If we're going to stop the Delta variant, the time is now. And that means getting vaccinated right now. Not everyone's going to agree with this. I understand that. If you want to participate in our society fully, you got to get vaccinated. You got to get vaccinated. It's time.
Very clever, isn't it? Incremental creep. And they'll blame the fallout. They'll blame the fallout of society, the depression, anxiety, chaos, etc. They'll blame the fall of the economy on this unprecedented virus. See, they'll blame it on that. But actually, the fallout is not the consequence of a virus, but the consequences of the willfully ignorant and ulterior reaction to it. Right, so we're willfully ignorant to what's really going on as far as the people are concerned, and the ulterior reaction to it by way of the establishment. It's this type of ulterior motive, this designed reaction, this designed solution that follows that reaction, which is Fourth Industrial Revolution. Right, this thing isn't unprecedented. Our reaction to it is unprecedented. It's like the illogic of how we've dealt with this whole thing is completely mad. That's why everything is falling to pieces.